everyone, welcome back to the Beauty Business Tour. I am your host, Destiny, and I have with me a very beautiful hair model, Josh. Let everyone know a little bit about you before you get into it, because he has a very powerful story that I want some of you guys to listen to, and it is very incredible. So, without further ado,
Hi
Josh.
everybody, I'm Josh. I'm also known as a hair model within the industry and a fashion model. Right. I'm a ball of fun. I just like to have a good time, and all these opportunities that I'm having are just kind of land in my lap. So I'm just rolling with the flow and enjoying myself.
You heard how he said they're just laying in his lap. Like, you don't come across a lot of people with that opportunity. How has that made you feel?
It's actually very humbling. I used to always pursue something in the industry when I was a lot younger, and I was like, I should be seen, I should be a model, I should be this, and I was at an age where I felt like I deserved it. But now that I'm a little older and I've had these experiences, it's actually a little bit more humbling. I'm like, oh, you chose me? Like, oh, okay. So it's almost like I'm kind of honored to be doing it, and I'm having a lot of fun. It's crazy, some of the experiences.
So tell me this. Did you want to cry when all the roles started coming to you?
I don't know if I wanted to cry. I'm not really much of a
Like
crier.
tears of joy?
Yes. I'm a happy person, so I get excited. So I don't necessarily like cry, but I'm like screaming and running around and jumping. I'm calling my mom. I'm like, oh my God, this is happening to me. I can't believe it. So it's very exciting. I do enjoy the excitement.
Yes, because when you are on that runway, whether it's for fashion or for the hair, it's very humbling. I know for me, I always think, please don't fall, please don't fall, please
That's
don't
not
fall.
childish. That was my main thing. When I first walked, I was like, please just don't fall.
And I hate the floors that are super slippery, like the concrete floors or the glossy floors. Like, why would you wax the floor knowing there's a fashion show coming up?
We was outside for my first one. They had that floor
Outside?
too. Yeah, they had the runway. The floor was a little slippery, but
Oh,
luckily I had on sneakers.
we were supposed to do a fashion show outside before, but it was like almost 105 degrees. And we were in Texas, but they were like, okay, we're going to keep everyone inside. I was like, thank you, because I am not trying to melt.
But my hair would make that.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. So is your hair naturally curly?
Yes. So in its natural state, it's really, really curly. Like the shrinkage is
Okay.
real. And I do a silk press probably about once or twice a month, just keep it healthy, keep the ends trimmed and stuff like that. But a lot of times when I'm doing a fashion showcase or an expo, it is normally straightened so that they can use it in style or show the tools and instruments that they're using.
Gotcha. Has anyone ever wanted to say, let me chop off about 3 or 4 inches?
No, not at all. And it's not happening. I actually am curious to see how long my hair can actually get. I've grown it out before a really long time ago, and it was like, all right, I'm over it. So it's never actually been this long. So I'm curious to know how long it's gonna get. So I ain't nobody cutting nothing except them dead ends.
If you keep it healthy, then you already know it's gonna grow, and you're gonna be like, oh, I got 24 inches, what?
I
And
might
it's
have
all
24
long.
now. So yeah.
Okay. Has anyone ever wanted to dye your hair, like permanent dye?
No, not as of yet. Some of the shows that I've done, they just really using like product knowledge and tools and equipment knowledge and stuff like that. No one's actually ever wanted to like cut or style, but I am gonna have the opportunity to do Bronner Brothers here in Atlanta. So
Really?
I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. Thank you. I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but I really don't want anybody to cut it or dye it. I mean, I would probably do a dye because of course it'll grow out eventually as long as you keep it healthy and so forth and so on. But I'm kind of simple. I don't want anything major though. Just lay it flat.
Makes sense. I was a little skeptical when I first dyed my hair because I was like, what if it all falls out? I don't know how to take care of dyed hair, let alone bleached hair.
Right.
I was like, I'm about to just be bald headed.
Well, no,
I'm
no.
not going to Britney Spears.
Right. Okay. Shave it all off. I've been a blonde before, and I had a low fade. I went down to New Orleans during Essence Festival for my birthday. My birthday's in July. So I was blonde. I was a blonde then, but it was a low temp fade and everything like that. So it was not hard for me to take care of. But I don't know how it would be with longer hair. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see.
That's good. So, what actually steered you to go towards modeling? I know you said everything has just been coming to you naturally, but you also said earlier you've always wanted to be seen. You were like, I have to be seen. What made you feel that way?
I kind of feel feel like I'm a personality. Like I said, I'm a ball of fun. Everybody that's around me has a good time. I just want everybody to be happy. So I felt like the reality scene would kind of put me in the forefront, like being on reality TV and so forth. But the modeling, the hair thing kind of just fell on my lap. I was invited to a party hosted by Dwight Eubanks, and I walked in, and he fell in love with my hair. And he was just like, well, come here, let me touch you up, because I was at another party, it was hot outside. So he was like, let me touch you up. So he touched me up, and he was like, why don't you walk in my show? I'm doing a show at the end of the party. And I was just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yes.
So literally, he kind of started silk pressing my hair. He put me in a suit that he wanted me to wear, and then he started silk pressing my hair. And then in the middle of it, he stopped. He was like, come with me. He literally went into the middle of the floor of the party, pulled a chair, sat down, and just started doing my hair. And then from that, I just started working with all kind of people in the industry, Cynthia Mason, Dwight Eubanks, I've worked with Carol's daughter. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's just been eye-opener and amazing opportunities that I've had, because I never thought from that, all of that would have happened.
Nice.
So.
Okay, so they kind of like encouraged you to push your career further?
Yes, yeah. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, at the end of the day, I was on my own. I didn't have a management team. It was just, I was just invited to this party, so it was really just me. So I was just like, you know, if this is something that I can do, I want to figure out how I can navigate through this, you know, and figure it out. Like, I want to know what else I can do.
Yes.
So I kind of just got on social media. I started looking into things and different people in different companies and just DMing them and reaching out to them. And then Ego Maserati came back into my life.
Love Ego.
Yes, so I met him a long time ago. It's crazy. He was my leasing agent when I was 18 years old, when I first moved into my first apartment. So he reached out to me and was like, I see you got a lot of things going on. You're here, you're there, you're with this different person. He was like, you got the Kardashian effect, but I really want to know what it is that you do. And I'm like, I'm just here. I'm just going to do whatever somebody wants me to do. You want me to hair model? You want me to be a private bartender? You want me to model clothes? I'll do it, you know? So he was like, well, you know, I work with Walk Fashion Show. It's an independent agency. And he was saying that you can get started with that. I think that'll be a great way for you to get into the industry and as far as being a model. And I was like, model? I was like, I'm not too skinny or too short to be a male model. I ain't got no body. You know, I'm like, I can do print. He was like, no, you're going to walk. And I was like, I've never walked before. Like, how do you even do that? So, you know, I went to Miami. That was my first Walk Fashion Show. And I just rehearsed and practiced with him the day of. Literally, the day of. I flew in that Sunday morning, and the show was Sunday night. And I practiced and rehearsed with him, and I walked.
Do you think it was a little difficult to learn how to walk like a male?
Yes, because as you can tell, I'm kind of a little shay. So I do have a little swish. But actually, they didn't want me to walk like a male model. They actually wanted me to just walk. So when and be myself. So when I initially first walked, my first time, I was like, I gave them Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior model, like stare face, don't you look nowhere. You gotta look straight ahead, don't you crack a smile, nothing. So I gave them that, and when I got back, it was like, that was perfect. But be you, liven up a little bit. It's a little bit more of an urban, you know, type of feel. You don't have to be so serious. So I was like, oh, okay. So the second time I walked, I tore it up.
Nice.
So, and then from that, I booked New York Fashion Week, September 8th.
Nice.
So I'll be walking for Walk Fashion, of course, and any designer that wants to pick me up.
Yes.
Dior, Louis Vuitton. Somebody.
Speaking of that, let everyone know your social media so they can reach out to you.
So yeah, my name is kind of fitting for who I am. My social media is $1 Million Boy, and it's all one word, and it's BOI. So you can find me on Instagram. You can also find me on Facebook at Joshua Tucker. And those are the only two media platforms that I use. I'm kind of old, so I just use those two. I know how to use.
I also do those only two, but I go for Twitter for my videos to make me laugh.
I never got the point of Twitter. I can't tweet. Like, I can't imagine somebody just sitting there tweeting all day long. I don't want to know what you're doing. I'm busy. I can't sit here and read this. And that's the same thing I feel about Snapchat. Although it's, you know, it's popular and I've been on people's Snapchat and stuff like that. It's cool. I'm not knocking it. But I really don't have time to make a video of myself all day long. Let me just post a picture.
Yes. I can understand with the Snapchat, all the filters and different things. Like sometimes people are too busy to either watch you or just post. Like
Yeah.
there's that's why we have Instagram.
I'm working. Look, I'm working. I post when necessary.
So I know you do other things other than modeling. Let us all know what everything you do.
Gosh, it's just so much. I do everything. No, really how I made a name for myself is, I'm not even gonna lie. I've worked for Red Lobster for 15 years.
Ooh.
And a lot of people know me from that as Mr. Red Lobster, the best server, the best bartender. I started bartending probably about 8 years ago. My sister was the bartender there and she was leaving, so she cross-trained me to be a bartender. I kind of just took over her spot.
Okay.
And since then, I have built such a huge clientele off of just bartending that I started doing private parties and events.
Nice.
So a lot of people know me from that as well. Like I do mansion parties, I do corporate events, weddings. I've even done a baby shower.
Really?
Yes, for adult beverages.
Bartender baby shower.
So
I
I've
hope
done.
I hope that the lady who was pregnant didn't.
No, she didn't, but she had a nice little cute glass or something. No, but I mean, yeah, sparkling cider. Okay.
So what is your most famous drink that you make?
I'm actually known for my margaritas. I make
Really?
a bomb margarita.
Is it the flavors or?
I feel like it's the consistency of a drink.
Mhm.
It needs to be smooth. It needs to be tasteful. Like it needs to taste good. Like you don't want it to be too much alcohol because then you can't enjoy it. But then you don't want to not taste your alcohol. You kind of want to know what's in there.
Exactly.
So it's about balance and consistency. So I pride myself on that.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure that your drink is gonna be enjoyable. You're not returning it.
Nice. He also bartends. He's a hair model. He does runway with print, and he also bartends.
Bottoms up bar on Instagram.
Okay, bottoms up bar. Definitely, I'm going to follow that because I will need that service real soon.
It's linked to my Instagram, $1 Million Boy. You can find it.
Yes, I would definitely be soliciting your services for that.
Call me anytime. You know I got you.
I will. So we kind of touched on this question, but I still want to flat out ask you, and it's how do you distinguish yourself from the industry?
How do I distinguish myself? There's nobody like me, to be honest with you. I just feel like it really is my personality. I think people are drawn to me. I have a big heart, and
I can tell.
and I love people. So I feel like my personality and who I am as an individual really sets me apart. And of course, yes, the way that I look. It's not too many males, gay or straight, that look like me. You know what I mean? With the hair, the skin, the lashes. I kind of am the total package.
Yes. And you got the nice cut mustache.
Everything's to the T. I kind of own like a GQ.
Yes.
Like I got to be on point.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gained me a lot of attention. So I could be walking down the street, folks be like, "Oh my God, you're so pretty." And I'm like, "Thanks."
Stop.
Right. Thanks. I try not to be, but no. I mean, I'm just been blessed to have beautiful parents.
I could feel you on that one.
And then my style. I feel like I'm kind of traditional, but not in a sense because I kind of have a flair as well. So I like to add a pop of color or just, a little spice to be like, okay, yeah, he's a little fabulous. Let me not. Yeah, let you know.
Oh my God, I think you and my nephew would get along so well. Because he's kind of like you. And I don't call him my nephew, he's actually like my brother. He's like 3 years younger than me.
Mhm.
And he's like one of my best friends. We hung out every single
We're
day.
very loyal.
Yes. And I think you guys will actually become really close.
Okay.
Because he's now growing out his hair, it's curly, he dyed it blonde, and I'm like, okay.
Ready to do some things together. Let's go ahead and do the ad campaign. Call me.
I'll give you his number.
Okay.
But real quick, what are your aspirations for your profession? Where do you aspire to be within like the next 2 years, the next 5 years?
Well, given how all this is coming about for me, just
Mhm.
falling into my lap, I'm kind of just open to see where it takes me. I am so curious to know, like, what is really next for me. But I guess I would aspire to just be great at whatever opportunities are going to come my way. The next 5 years, I guess I would like to be a little bit bigger. I guess I would want to walk for the big names. Like, I'm a Louis Vuitton Gucci baby. I don't care what they say about Gucci. So I would love to walk for them. YSL, of course, all the big names. But of
Yes.
course, I would just like to be in that caliber and to be considered in that caliber
Mhm.
within the next few years to be able to walk for such a big brand or a major brand like that.
True.
But until then, I'm still
Okay.
gonna walk fashion.
And do you have any concerns as you're growing?
Yeah, I do actually, and I guess it's more so like a not a body image, but I wonder, am I gonna run across, am I too skinny, or am I too short? I could stand if I put on a good 10 pounds, but we'll cross that bridge when it gets there. I don't work out or anything like that, but if I have to start, then I will. So I wouldn't say it would be a concern, but I guess it's a thought in my mind, like, am I gonna have to make changes to my body? You know, which I'm open to do, but that would be
Okay.
it.
And to end it all, I want you to say some encouraging words for everyone out there who is just getting started, who don't even know where to start, and who's actually like bursting on the inside, like, I need to do this, like how you started. So let them know some encouraging words.
Encouraging words. I say be yourself. Always just go out there and be authentic. Being at the right place at the right time also helps too. So change your circle. Okay, change your circle of friends. If you're inspiring to be something, then be it. No one can ever tell you that you can't. I never thought that it would happen to me, so don't ever think that it couldn't happen to you, because it can. So live your truth. Be who you are. If you want to be a model, be a model. You want to be a singer, be a singer. Just sing well. But yeah, be whatever you want to be. It's 2019. Be you.
Nice encouraging words from Josh. Make sure you guys follow him on Instagram at $1 Million Boy, BOI. And I am your host with the Beauty Business Tour, Destiny. Make sure you join us here every week on tier1fashion.com, powered by DFTV Network.